more tea for you guys. Last week, Curtis shared about his story and, or otherwise known as a testimony, and how God really worked through your life in high school, especially while you didn't even know it. So, if you guys didn't watch last week, if you weren't here, if leaders, you could pause and just kind of give a quick synopsis of Curtis's story and all that he went through, and then we'll jump right back in. But so you were involved in many different things in high school that came from sex, drugs, self-pride, and not living for anybody else but yourself, and that didn't get you too far. So I want to talk about how, you know, that old Curtis came to be this new Curtis that you are now, with this beautiful family and a wonderful wife, and how God just continually provides for you. And then to compare that to Saul to Paul in the Bible. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, I mean, I love that comparison because I've always honestly related to Paul in that change where it was drastic. Like Saul was an evil person, and he said it like, man, I was the worst, and I imprisoned people, I hurt people, and then on my way to hurting other people, I met Jesus. Like Jesus just stepped into his life and radically changed it like this. And then all of a sudden you see this Paul who is soft-hearted and encouraging and serving people. And so the Saul that was evil, I relate to because I was. I mean, I would say I was one of the meanest, most evil people I knew. To this day, I was like, I was pretty bad. I hurt people and did not mind it. I manipulated, I stole, I did anything I wanted, and I did not care who I had to hurt to do it. And while I was doing it, I had no thought about it. And then all of a sudden, I meet Jesus, right? Like I'm getting in this car accident, after being drunk, and I'm going to do this process that he uses it to kind of open my eyes. And I saw him as he just really called me and said, listen, Curtis, you can do this, but you're going to die.
And how old were you at this time?
23.
Okay.
You're going to die or end up in jail, like all the rest of my people, a lot of people that I know. And so I didn't want to surrender. I'll be honest, I did not want to surrender. It's like I want to do life my way. But I recognize it's not going well. And it's not ever going to go well.
Because if you didn't, that would have been, jail.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay, Jesus, I'm going to try you out. And then I never regretted the decision. Yeah. And I did become kind of that Paul where like my heart was soft. I wanted to serve people. So the same people I hurt, like the same females I hurt, I called and apologized for dear friends that I hurt. I just apologized. Spent a long time just saying I'm sorry and wanting to serve now and just be an example of Jesus and point others to Jesus. And so, man, that's my life. And just I was Saul, but now I'm Paul. Now I get to preach, which is crazy. Yes. Like anybody that knows me from then just says it's crazy that I'm a pastor, but I am, and it's nothing not because I'm good. It's just simply because Jesus is real.
Well, you are an amazing pastor.
Oh, thank you.
And God just works through you and your words every single time I hear you talk. That. And I know not just me, many people. So a lot of the youth that are watching this video are going through similar life situations that you went through, and might feel stuck in their family and might feel stuck in the situation that they're in. What would you tell them?
Man, what I would say to them, to you, one, I would say that your circumstances don't define you. They are real. They feel so big, and they feel like that you can't be anything else but your circumstances. One of the things that, man, if I would go back and tell that Curtis, like, all that you're going through is real, but that doesn't make you who you are. you can be something so different than what you are living in. And Jesus is big enough to make that change. Like, he really is big enough to make it. Not only is he big enough, he loves you enough. Like, I would tell them, and if I was their age, I would want to hear that, man, you are loved. Like, when you are around people who you don't feel like see you, love you, want to be around you, you immediately just feel rejected and like you don't matter. But Jesus says, man, you matter. You matter so much, I died on the cross for you. And so that's what I would tell them, is he died on the cross for you. And he knows you by name. Right. So even if so-and-so rejects you, mom rejects you, dad's not there, that actually doesn't define you. He's big enough and he loves you enough. And if you see that, as hard as it is, doesn't make it easy. Does not make it easy. Right. But he's real and he loves you. He'll walk with you, right? Like, he's walked with me, when I've seen people who I love die, and it was scary. You're thinking, man, what's the point? Mm-hmm. Well, man, he's the point, and he just shows you, man, his hand is big enough for all of that, and he loves you enough to walk with you, to protect you, and to love you. And that's how you become all that he created you to be.
So those are all very great points that I wish I would have heard, going into my freshman year of college or high school. So we both went through very similar high school experiences where we were living for everything else besides God. Yeah. And we know that's where you guys are right now. And it is a hard time. Yeah, it is. It is a very trying time, a time of many temptations. Yeah. A time where you feel like you are an adult and you can make your decisions. Yeah. And but I want you guys to know that you have so many leaders and so many people in your life that love you so much and that would do anything for you. And whether you see it or not, that love that we have for you is so is so real. And while we say we love you every time we see you and that you are valued every time we see you, those are real things and things that we both wish that we would have heard consistently throughout high school, and we didn't really hear that until we became a Christian. And so we are trying to help you guys right now get ahead of where we went. And we we lived for the wrong things and it got us nowhere. Nowhere at all. And so, but now we live our life for Jesus, and we are so thankful that he died on the cross for us and for our sins. And this beautiful thing called grace and love, and that no sin you have ever committed is not worthy of forgiveness. Like, every single sin is worthy of forgiveness, and no sin is greater than the other. Absolutely. Which is like
preach it,
crazy. Preach it. So no matter where you're walking right now, whether you are in a similar situation that we were in, or you're in a similar situation to where we are now, we all want to walk alongside you and use these stories to show you that Jesus is so real and wants to have this wonderful relationship with you, which is just amazing tea. So we're gonna end this video right here, but I want the leaders to challenge you guys with a few questions that I have prepared for them. So if leaders, you can take out those questions right now, that would be great. And guys, please be vulnerable during this time. Leaders, please be vulnerable. Like I said in the first video, this is not a time to judge anybody. We are all in different walks of faith and different walks in our life. And so whether or not you guys want to share, that's fine, but I encourage you guys to share a little bit of what you're going through so that we as leaders know how to come alongside you and help you best and love you best. But yeah, all right. Thank you, Curtis.
Thank you.
And we'll see you guys soon.